This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. There's a curious thing that we've witnessed over the course of the last few years, and that is the dedication to the prospect of destroying democracy in America from Republicans. Yet, these same Republicans, many of whom, like the guy I'm going to talk about today, actually took part in an insurrection against the United States, an attempt to overthrow the United States government by way of overturning a free and fair election. A free and fair, settled American election. And they were so displeased with the results of that free and fair, settled American election that they proceeded to attempt to overthrow the government. Because if Donald Trump had been reinserted as president of the United States extra democratically, that is an overthrowing of the government. That is ending democracy in America. And there was no more a spokesperson for this movement than Jacob Chansley, the guy who's so insecure about being bald, no shame in it, Jacob, that he wears a goofy, furry, horned hat. Even in like serious sit-down interviews, he wears the hat. He was the face of the insurrection. Among many, he was one of the faces of the insurrection. He was one of the faces, one of the attempters to overthrow the government. And now, after having tried to end democracy in America, he wants to use that same democracy to get elected to Congress in Arizona, where he's from. Let me read a little bit from this Business Insider article titled, QAnon Shaman, Jacob Chansley, who served more than 2 years in prison for his role in the January 6th attack on Congress, now wants to run for Congress. Jacob Chansley would like to return to the scene of his crime. Chansley rose to American infamy as the QAnon Shaman, becoming the face of the January 6, 2021 siege on the United States Capitol, which sent congressional lawmakers scrambling in fear for the exits. Now he thinks he might like to work in the building he attacked. He's considering a run for the congressional seat there in Arizona, and he's filed his paperwork. Debbie Lesko's seat is who he wants to succeed. Now, a lot to talk about here, but first and foremost is the dangerous group of characters. He's among many unhinged, dangerous enemies of democracy who want to run for that seat. Many election deniers, one of which was actually at the Capitol himself on January 6th. What does it say about the Republican Party today that they want to use democracy to end democracy? I mean, if there ever was a sentence that is emblematic of hypocrisy, that is it. They despise the viewpoints of the vast majority of America so much that they would use the thing they want to end to gain power. This cast of characters doesn't just include Blake Masters, the election-denying dangerous Senate candidate, or that other goof, Abe Hamadeh, who ran for attorney general and lost, another election-denying ghoul. It also is Ben Toma, the Arizona House Speaker, State Senator Anthony Kern of Glendale, that's the guy who was also at the United States Capitol on January 6th. Trent Franks, he resigned in 2017 amid controversy. And Seth Coates, Isaiah Gallegos, Jimmy Rodriguez, Raleigh Stevens, and Brandon Ernest. All of these people are dangerous Republicans. All of these people represent a threat to democracy. And Jacob Chansley, who apparently is going to run as a libertarian, he wants to join them. I got a new chair. Do you notice? Now, here's the other element of this that I want to talk about, and that is this paragraph here. One of the first rioters to breach the Capitol, Chansley, issued an apology after pleading guilty to his crimes. He served 27 months behind bars in a 41-month sentence. You know how they're so mistreated that he's getting early release. Once released, he suggested that he wanted to reverse his guilty plea. So he pleaded guilty. He apologized. He's since disavowed the QAnon movement, but as soon as he's out, as soon as he gets released from prison, serving time, doing penance for his crime, he's like, no, I want to reverse my guilty plea. That was all wrong. After the sentence has been carried out. There's no integrity. He's a liar. He is now in the complex network of grifters and charlatans trying to make money off of his right-wing extremist fame. He's a version of Rittenhouse, Kyle Rittenhouse. And then finally here, though as a convicted felon, he can't vote in Arizona, that's the case, that doesn't prevent him from running for office. Look, I don't understand this element of America today. How are we as a country, as a functioning democracy, not disqualifying every one of these idiots, these dangerous domestic terrorists who attempted to overthrow the government? Why are they getting a shot to take part in the franchise of democracy, having attempted to overthrow it? Essentially, colloquially, committing treason against the United States, sedition against the same government they want to join now. Somebody answer me that. And also, Jacob, you know they're not going to let you wear the goofy hat on the floor of the house. So you're either going to have to get fitted with the rug, a little toupee action, or just be bald. No shame. Just be you. Be happy and proud for who you are and the way that God made you. How about that? Anyway, what do you think? If you live in Arizona, if you live in this district, I really want to know. There needs to be activism, boots on the ground, so to speak, an army of volunteers knocking on doors, working for campaigns, donating to campaigns to ensure that this maniac and the slew of idiots that I named don't have a shot at this seat. Flip this seat from an election denier, a terrorist, alleged, to someone who cares about America, wants to preserve democracy in this country. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can mix it up in the comments. We can have a conversation there. You can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. If you appreciate what I do, the message, the way I deliver the message, or just the general cut of my jib, please consider supporting my work. You can help produce what I do here, help grow this channel. Click the join button below. Become a channel member for $2 a month. If you become a patron on Patreon by the end of the year, you take part in the end of the year Patreon gift that we send out every year. Patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. That's a good time. Hit the super thanks button. Make sure you're subscribed, you like this video, you comment on this video, you share this video with someone who needs to know, someone who lives in Arizona, preferably. And I'll see you next time. I appreciate you very much. Be genuine. Take care of one another.